Shalom, shalom. I'm going to start off this video by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops, a great millstone that rule well and teach well while learning truth 100% according to the Bible. I also want to say shalom to the elect, the 144,000 men, prophets, servants scattered abroad the four corners of the earth. And shalom to you, Akwaf, which are you few sisters that are sincere and your children, shalom. And in today's video is going to be titled, Being Instant in Season and Out. And ultimately, we know that our job as men of the Lord, that we got to feed Bahashem Yahushua sheep, you see, and that's a everyday thing. You see, we don't want to go weeks without uploading videos. We don't want to go weeks without going out on the highways and byways. This is a day-to-day thing that we are involved in, man. You see, and we supposed to take this thing more serious than anything else, man. You see, more important than your family, more important than your job, more important than any other thing in which it is you may possess. This truth comes first and foremost over all those things, man. You see, and has to be our mindset in this truth, because that's the only way you're going to be able to last and stand. You see, Lord's willing, we be of the elect, of course, first and foremost, but we got to have that mindset in this truth, man. This thing has to come before everything, you see, you know. But I'm actually grab this precept that I got right here. This is 2 Timothy chapter 4, and I'm going to start at verse 2. In the KJV, it says, preach the word, right? That's what we got to be doing, you see. And what are we ultimately preaching? We're warning, you see, the Lord's people, man, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Hey, the Lord has set us up to be those watchmen in these times, to blow the trumpet, to warn, you see, Jake about ultimately what's getting ready to come down the pipeline, man. And hopefully that they'll repent. This is what we got to continuously do day in and day out, you see. Like I said, it's not just a thing you do once a week, or no, this is your life every day. You see, you got to be occupied in the prophecies, as the scriptures have said, constantly watching the news, constantly paying attention to the things that are happening, so that, guess what, you can blow the trumpet and give word to the saints, man. You see, that's what it's all about, feeding the Lord's sheep, right? But I'm going to finish reading. It says, preach the word, be instant in season and out of season, you see. That means it don't matter what it is you're going through, no matter if you're going through any type of hardship or difficulty in your life, you shouldn't allow ultimately any of that to ultimately to throw your mind off of what's important, you see, which is this work, man, you see. It says, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. So like I said, you know, we got to be instant in season and out, man, constantly teaching his word, constantly putting up these videos, constantly, you know, doing those things in which it is that Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua ultimately wants us to do, man. You see, being those good servants, right? This is Isaiah chapter 58. I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, cry aloud and spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, right? We're supposed to be giving the warnings, right? And show my people their transgressions and the house of Jacob their sins. And how can we do that? We got to be posting these videos. We got to be going out there on the highways and the byways. We got to be doing these things in order for us to ultimately do the stuff in which it is that the Lord wants us to do. You see, we got to be occupied, man. You see? Because like I said, how are we going to warn them ultimately what's to come and things like that if we're not ultimately being occupied in these prophecies, if we're not keeping up with the, you know, latest events in the news of what's happening and what's going on, man, you see. But as it says right here, I'm going to grab Sirach chapter 39, verse 1. It says, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies. Because like I said, at the end of the day, that's what we're warning our people about, prophecies. We're warning them of the things that are to come. So guess what? We got to ultimately be instant in season and out. Like I said, you see, in order for us to know what's going on. So guess what? We can blow the trumpet and warn Jake, you see, and warn our people of what's ultimately coming, you see. That's what the Lord set us up to do in these times. As I'm going to go right here and grab that precept. This is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. It says, son of man, I have made thee a watchman, right? Unto the house of Israel, which is a people before as a place. It says, therefore, hear the word in my mouth and give them warning from me, right? And that's what we got to be doing. Constantly warning the Lord's sheep, man. You see, telling them what's going on, telling them what's happening. You see, to the sincere believers, you see, of course, we're not worried about 2/3 Jakes, because we know that this word is not for them. But still, for the hopeful elect men and women, you see, we constantly putting up these videos and, you know, trying to edify them to the best of our abilities daily, man. You see, but I'm going to read verse 18 as well. It says, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand, you see. And we don't want ultimately Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua to do that to us. You see, we don't want these people's blood to be upon our hands, because if ultimately the Lord have given us this understanding of these scriptures and, set us up ultimately to prophesy and to warn and to do these videos and things like that, guess what? We got to take it seriously, man. You see, this is very serious work that we're involved in. This ain't a game. This ain't a joke. This ain't a fad. This ain't a TikTok trend and all of this different type of stuff that people think in their minds. No, this is deadly serious, man, what we're in, right? And we got to treat it as such, So like I said, we got to constantly blow the trumpet and warn, you see, and ultimately be instant in seasoning out, man. Like I said, But I'm actually grab this precept as well. Because ultimately, like I said, that's the main thing in which it is we supposed to be doing is feeding the Lord's sheep, man. You see, edifying the body, But this is St. John chapter 21. I'm going to start at verse 15 and I'm going to read on down to 17 in the KJV. It says, so when they had dined, Yahushua saith to Simon, right, Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? He saith unto him, yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, feed my lambs. You see. He saith to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He saith unto him, yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, feed my sheep. He saith unto him the third time, right? Just showing you the importance of it. Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Yahushua saith unto him, feed my sheep. So like I said, that's just going to show us ultimately the importance of it, why the Lord ultimately has us doing this, man. Because like I said, it's important, right? And we got to continue to pray to the Lord to keep his spirit on us that we're able to continue to do this work, you see, because ultimately we know that the only way we're able to do these things are through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We're not doing these things on our own, but still we got to constantly, fight against this flesh, man, and, continue to do what we can do to ultimately to feed the body, man. You see, feed the sincere believers, you see, with this truth, man, and ultimately to continue to keep warning them and prophesying of what's ultimately coming down the pipeline, man, right? Because like I said, that's what the Lord has set us up to do in these times, man. So, yeah, that's pretty much everything I had to say with today's video. Lord's willing, I pray it be edifying. Just something quick through the spirit, a quick hit, basically of, like I said, just feeding the sheep, man. That's what we got to do. We got to constantly be instant in seasoning out. But with that being said, Lord's willing, I pray the video be edifying. To the next time, I'm going to say shalom to the elect. Shalom.